This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So in the last session, we were talking about asset purchase, asset sale, transfer, scrapping with the simulation portion only. And we tried to post depreciation yesterday where we were getting some error. I informed that to the server guy. Let me verify if that is fixed. 9 PBI 2023 period number 12. Test run. If I go here, now this is giving you green. There is one more red. We'll have to see what is this one. Processing terminated due to RFC error. Still it is there. For one it is fixed. There are no authorization issues. So I think the issue still exists, but at least for one area it is working now. It is turning green. This also should become green. There is some more issue that I'll ask him to check once again. Okay, this is fine. Now we'll talk about legacy asset upload process. Now, if you're talking about asset accounting, this is very important. You must be aware of the process on which you are going to upload the legacy assets into SAP. Whenever you are talking about legacy asset, point number one, you have to understand your trial balance. Trial balance is the base for your legacy data. From the trial balance, they will give you the fixed asset figure. When you say fixed asset figure, in the trial balance, you will have assets. Under the assets, you will get fixed assets. So when you say fixed assets, under fixed assets, you may be getting like land and building, plant and machinery, and computers and accessories. Something like this you will receive from the client from the trial balance. Now to do the legacy upload for the fixed asset, we are more focused on the fixed asset. This portion is what we are focused at from your trial balance. When you look at this, the total fixed assets, you will have some value. Let's say total fixed asset is somewhere around 4 lakhs or 400,000. This 400,000 will have a breakup of what is land and building, what is plant and machinery, what is computer and accessories. In short, this is the total fixed asset value. This is the breakup of the respective fixed asset categorization. Let's say for land and building, I would say 1 lakh, and plant and machinery, I will say 1.5 lakh, and this I will say 2.5 lakhs. Overall, you have to get this 4 I'm not getting, so I'll make it 5 lakh. Total is 5 lakh, and this will be the breakup of your fixed asset. Point number one, you should know the total fixed asset value from the balance sheet. Point number two, at the respective asset class level or at the respective asset categorization level, what is the value of each fixed asset categorization? Total value, which is inclusive of all the fixed assets. When I say inclusive of all the fixed assets, for example, since we created for computers and accessories, in the trial balance, let's assume it is showing 2.5 lakh or 2 lakh 50,000. And this 2 lakh 50,000 is coming from the balance sheet asset, fixed asset, computer and accessories. First point, this is a subledger. First point, your asset accounting is a subledger. This is the subledger value. Breakup of your computer and accessories you will receive in the subledger called asset accounting. In the asset accounting, you are going to receive the data from the asset register. There is something called asset list or asset register. In short, the list of all the assets are included in the asset register report. This asset register will tell you the total details of the fixed asset from the acquisition until the retirement. From value addition to the value becoming zero, the total life cycle of the asset is part of your asset register. In this asset register, you are going to get the total list of the assets that your client is currently holding. Now there may be computer and accessories. If I take only this portion, let's say total there are 3000 computers. Assuming that in the client there are 3000 computers and the total value of this 3000 computer is, let's assume, 2.5 lakh. Numbers will be higher numbers when you're in the actual project. Let's say this may be 2 million, 3 million, 3 billion likewise, but we are taking the easy number to understand the logic. Assuming 3000 is the computer count, 2.5 lakh is the computer value. Now this 2.5 lakh or 2,50,000 is the value of 3000 computers, which means your client will have to give you the detailed breakup of this 3000 computer at each computer level. When I say at each computer level, they'll have to give details like computer 1 and computer 2, likewise computer 3000. They will give you the details of 3000 computers. For each computer, they have to provide you the details. When they provide you the details, they will give you the details like date of purchase, value of purchase, current value of the asset, and the depreciation charged till date. Date of purchase, value of purchase, and then the current value of the asset and the depreciation charged till date. These four key parameters are required from every asset, and the method of depreciation, how they are currently charging depreciation on this particular asset, whether they are charging based on the straight line method or WDV method or useful life method. Same logic you have to implement in your SAP, which we would have already done as part of our configuration. But when you receive the cutover data or when you receive the legacy data, you have to cross verify the calculation. When I say you have to cross verify the calculation, make sure whatever the details that you are getting here, you are able to understand how the calculations have happened in the client legacy system and how the calculations are going to happen in the SAP system. Are they correct? Are they matching, or there are any mismatches? Sometimes there may be slight minute mismatches which your client will have to agree to it. Now first point, what I'll do here is I will say computer 1, I'll say computer 2, I'll take computer 3. Let's assume that these are the three computers which we are taking. For every computer you need some basic information. I'll come down, I'll say asset name, next one date of purchase, let's say date of purchase is 2021. I'll put this is somewhere around 15. This is I'll take 5th May 15th 2021. Computer 2 I'll take 2023. I'll say June 10th. Third asset I'll take somewhere around 2022. 2022 I'll take, let's say, February 7th. Let me take fourth computer also. I'll say this one purchased in the current month. I'll say current month, December 13th or
Sir, there
December
should be
13th.
ascending order, right? Maybe computer
No,
one,
no, no need of
not.
ascending order, not required. I'll say this, I'll take on 3rd. Okay, this is a date of purchase. Next one, what I'll do, purchase value. This I'll say, now this should be the total breakup of 2,50,000. I'll put 50,000 here, 80,000 here, and you need 1.3. I'll take 70,000 here, 80 here, 150, then I'll take 1 lakh here. This one I'll take somewhere around 40,000. Total is 290. TBS is showing 250. I'll tell why I'm taking the fourth one. This is your purchase value. And since we're talking about everything is computer, depreciation on all the computers must be on the same logic. I would say depreciation method. I'll say 10% straight line method. Here I'll put 15% WDV method. Here I'll put 6 years life. Then this one I'll put, let's say, 10% straight line method. And last one, I'll put depreciation posted in current year and depreciation posted till last year. Till last year you need, and till current year also we need. Okay, once I take this information, let me reduce the size of it. Now, let's assume that these are the assets that your client is currently holding. Now you can replace any asset class here, you can replace any asset name here, any date you can put, any purchase value you can put, any method you can put. Logic that we are calculating now will remain exactly the same for any asset for any client. Just focus on the logic, how we are calculating the figures, then how we are going to upload this asset in SAP. Same way, same logic, same steps you have to remember, and you need to follow the same steps in your project. You need to explain the same steps in your interview also. One sec.
Calculations we need to check for all the assets, like 3,000 assets, or only for randomly we need to check?
That I'll show it now. Normally, whenever you're doing the calculation, you will receive all the data in the Excel sheet in the same format. Okay.
Okay.
Now your depreciation is based on the calculation, correct? If it is computer, all the computers are depreciated at the same logic, same percentage.
Yeah.
Now for the testing purpose, I took different, but in reality, you will have all the computers with the same. If it is 10% straight line method, for all the 3,000 assets, it is the same. For the first 2-3 assets, you will do manual calculation to ensure that your calculations are fine. Then you will do the calculation in the same Excel sheet with the formulas. Just copy paste the formula, Excel will give you all the values.
Got it.
But randomly we will check few values to make sure the calculated figures from your Excel sheet according to SAP calculations or the data that received by your client is also the same. Otherwise, there will be the reconciliation issues. Client will tell asset values are not matching. So it is very important we pay good attention at the calculation part. Uploading part is very simple. There is nothing new in it. But how you are uploading, how values are coming in the system, that is very crucial. So here what I'll do, we have to segregate the asset legacy data. Let's say legacy data upload in SAP. First one is current year acquisitions. Second one is your prior year acquisition. The moment you receive the asset data, make sure you are able to segregate the data into current year acquisition, at the same time prior year acquisition. When you're talking about current year, when you're talking about prior year, before we decide what is current year, what is prior year, we have to understand the project dates. You need to take project go live date. We have to understand what is our project go live date, and then you have to understand cutover date. You should also understand trial balance month or trial balance period. Now, assuming that our project is going live in this month, if I say December, I'll say 14 2023 is the project go live date. Though it's a little backdated, it is still fine. If you take current month, it will give you clear understanding. Assuming that in December 14th 2023 we are going live with a project, according to this logic, your cutover date will be always project go live previous month. If you are going live in December, previous month of December is November. November will be the cutover date. Whenever you are talking about cutover date, cutover always represents month ending date. For November, the closing date is, I'll write November 30, 2023. 30th November 2023 will become your cutover date. Next one, trial balance month. Your cutover month will become the trial balance month. If you are receiving the cutover for November, trial balance month will be November 2023. Trial balance month will be November 2023, which means from the client we will be receiving trial balance of November 2023. From the November 2023, you have to look at what are the assets. You have to look at the assets. When you're looking at the asset, let's say you got the data like this. You got the data like this, and from this data, you have to pay attention on current year acquisition, prior year acquisition. Current year acquisition means go live year purchases, and prior year means before go live year purchases. Now in this example, our go live year is 2023. So here I'll put here I'll add go live year is equal to 2023. Why I am mentioning go live year is 2023? Because we are going live in December 2023 according to your leading ledger. According to leading ledger, you have to see it from the asset accounting point of view. According to that, December is part of financial year or fiscal year 2023, period number whatever it is. But this is year 2023. We are going live in year 2023. Whatever the asset that you purchase in 2023, is your current year acquisition. Whatever the asset purchased in 2023 is current year acquisition. And whatever the asset you purchased before go live means before 2023, here until 2022. When I say okay, in 2023, whatever you purchased, I'll say simply in 2023, whatever is purchased is your current year acquisition. Until 2022, whatever is purchased is prior year acquisition. Now, how you are going to identify whether it is current year or prior year? Point number one, understand what is your go live year. Once you understand this is your go live year, which is 2023, go back to the asset details that you received from the client. In this, just put a filter on this data. Select this information, just put a filter and make sure you will ask your client to put the date in a specific date format, so that when you open the date drop down, you will get data like this. Since we put the date in the date format, when you open the filter for the years, I can easily figure out 2023. Now whatever the assets that are purchased in 2023, for 2023 I highlighted green, yellow. I'll put yellow for these two. According to me, yellow, which means to 2023, is a current year acquisition. Now easily I can differentiate these are the current year acquisition asset. Similarly, I'll open the drop down. I will select all. I will unselect 2023. Apart from 2023, whatever the years that you find, select on all those assets. Apart from 2023, whatever the years that you have, these are all straightforward until 2022, maybe 21, 22, 20, 19, 18, 17, whatever the asset year may be, that is part of your prior year acquisition. Select these two dates, put this prior year acquisition color. Now just remove the filter. When you remove the filter, you are able to see the coloring here. This is the first activity you will have to do, because when you receive the data from the client in any project, you will be having n number of records, maybe 2000, 3000, 5000 records. Depending on the client, depending on the company, number of asset count may be very high. There may be clients who are having more than 10,000 assets, no surprise. Right? There are companies who may be having more than 10,000, 20, 30,000 assets also. So there is no surprise in it. And you have to work as an independent candidate, independent consultant on these activities if you are a FICO consultant who is assigned to work on asset accounting. Now the logic will remain the same. Whether you have a 4 here, you have 40,000, 4,000, logic will not get changed, because everything is based on the Excel sheet. Everything is based on the formulas. One formula you put for one asset, copy paste formula, it will calculate everything in the same way for all the asset, but make sure data is consistent in the sheet. When I say data is consistent, if your user is giving the date in a wrong format, when you put the filter, system will not recognize the data as the date. If it is not recognizing as a date, you will not be able to segregate. They should not give any typo error like date in place of month, month in place of date. So when you give date of purchase in your template, you have to clearly mention whether it is date month year format or month date year format or year month date. Do you have different combinations of the date? Which format you want the data? Give the client in the similar format, because end of the day, as a consultant, you have to work on it. Make sure you will receive the data in your requirement or in your required format. Client will give you data in some other format, converting that data into your own format. If you are good at Excel, you can convert it. If not, you may have to struggle a lot. Sometimes client also will tell you it's already there, no, you just convert it. Easily they will tell you convert in Excel. Unless you are good at Excel, you cannot do certain activities. Right? So not to take any risk, not to take any chance. Always get the data from the desired format from the client. Before that, you have to understand in what format you need the data. Assuming that you got the data, and you have to first segregate current year and prior year acquisition. Assuming that this is the data that we segregated, first let us try to understand current year acquisition. Current year acquisition means our yellow color. Yellow color is the current year acquisition. You need to calculate these depreciations, and at the end you need to calculate net book value. These three values you have to figure out for each and every asset. For each and every asset, these three values we must be requiring. If I first point, what I'll do is same logic, whatever the way we calculated the depreciation in the previous sessions for the asset, exactly the same way, exactly the same logic we have to use it here. First point, what I'll do is, this is your depreciation method, 15% WDV. I am highlighting everything yellow here. For this, we are going to calculate now. First thing, what I'll do, I am going to take the date and purchase value. These 3 points I'll take down for the calculation part. And then once we are done with our calculation part, we will take the numbers to the table above. This is your purchase date, value, and depreciation. This is the data that we've received. Point number 1, we have to calculate depreciation per year. How do we calculate depreciation per year? It is your 80,000. I'll put 80,000 multiplied by 15%. This will give you depreciation per year. If I do this on 80,000, if I put 15%, I am getting 12,000. I am getting 12,000. This will be the depreciation. I'll convert this to value. This is the depreciation per year. This is depreciation per year, and this asset is purchased in 2023, which is current year acquisition. This asset is purchased current year, which is current year acquisition. In this current year acquisition, you have to find out the annual depreciation first, and then you need to find out, this is one set. This is your first calculation. After that, depreciation per day, same logic. This is your 12,000 divided by 365. Same thing, 12,000 divided by 365. Take this to 2 decimal. Okay, this is the second point that you have to calculate. After that, third point, you have to calculate depreciation per month. Now, this depreciation per month is your from the date of purchase. Asset is purchased in the month of 6. 6 is nothing but June. So I'll take June 2023 and July 2023, August 2023, September 2023, September 2023, and then October 2023, November 2023. Now, until when we have to take depreciation? Until your cutover month, your trial balance month. Your trial balance month is November 2023. make sure you are going to take the depreciation until November 2023. Now how you are going to put the depreciation here? June month you are going to have how many days? 30 days. July 31 days. August 31 days. September 30 days. October 31 days. November 30 days. These are the number of days that you have. But point number one you need to consider is in June month you have not purchased on the day one. So your purchase date in the month of June is 10th. So from 10th till 30th you need to calculate. From 10 to 30th how many days? This is 21 days, is it? Or 20 days?
Ajay, we can use days function, right, to find the difference between two dates. Like
Yes.
from 6:10 to 12:31, days function. So
Yeah,
that
you
would
can
be
do it. So from 10th I'll consider till 30th. So it's not 20, it will be 21 days. Am I correct for June? Is this right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So in June month you are going to get 21 days. Now here you have to find out depreciation for every month. So the logic will be per day depreciation multiplied by this one. Same thing. Now I am putting calculation everywhere, but when you are in the project, you will put formulas. When you drag down, when you copy paste, everything will get copied automatically. But for you to understand, I am not putting any formulas. Put this here. Per day depreciation multiplied by number of days. Same thing. Per day depreciation multiplied by number of days. Per day depreciation multiplied by number of days. This is what we are getting here, and if you do a total, this is the amount. And if I take everything into 2 decimal only, 5720.55. This is the depreciation for 2023 until November period or until November month. This calculation is the first calculation which we have to see, meaning in the legacy system for this particular asset, your client had already posted 5720.55 as depreciation. So take this 5720.55. I'll take in current year 5720.55. This you'll have to take. Asset is not purchased in the last year, so this scenario is not applicable here. This is not applicable because this is a current year acquisition. For current year acquisition, only current year depreciation is applicable until trial balance month. Net book value will be asset value minus current year depreciation plus prior year depreciation. In this case, you don't have prior year, in short, last year depreciation. Deduct only the current year depreciation from the asset value. If you do it, you get 74,279.45. This value you are getting, make sure when you upload the asset in SAP, this number should reflect. When you upload in SAP, this number should reflect. And when you run the depreciation in SAP, first month depreciation in SAP is executed for December 2023. Now I'll put in SAP client will execute depreciation for or depreciation from December 2023 onwards. According to this logic, in the month of December, we are supposed to get December 2023. It is 31
Hello.
days.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Actually, your screen is not moving. It's freeze. Is this happening for everyone or only for?
Others, can you see December 2023 and 31 days?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
sir.
see.
Yes, it's fine.
Maybe just try to rejoin, maybe network issues. Okay, so for December month, if I calculate the depreciation, 31 days multiplied by our per day depreciation, this much. This is the value. Now the expected figure to be posted in SAP once they go live is 1019.18. Okay, when the client executes the depreciation after go live, you are going to hand over the system to the client in the month of December. From December onward, your client will be executing a depreciation. According to this depreciation or according to the asset, so far they've already depreciated until November in the legacy system. For the month of December, it is supposed to be charged 1019.18 in the P&L as depreciation. When you run the depreciation in SAP, system is supposed to charge this much value only. Now we have to validate and we have to verify this will be the legacy data transfer and this will be the planned depreciation for December 2023. This is your expected result from SAP. Now before you upload all these things in SAP, you have to take some sample assets, load these sample assets or create this sample asset in test system, maybe development quality, make sure calculations everything is working fine. Once you make sure that everything is working fine, that is where you are going to work out on the legacy data upload for the actual asset that you have received from the client. Till then you will not work on the activity. First thing is to make sure it is working fine, calculations everything is in line, so that when you upload the data you are going to upload thousands of assets. If everything is wrong, the total upload that you have done is wrong, no other go, you have to remove all the transactions that you uploaded for the asset. You have to reset everything and then re-upload everything, which will be a very tricky task. And this is one of the sensitive activities in any project to make sure asset subledger values and asset main ledger values will tally with your client legacy balances. Wherever they find any difficulties, wherever they get any clarification, they will straight away reach out to you. As a FICO consultant, make sure you will be in a position to make the user understand how system is calculating and how you upload it and the breakup of it. And this is the minimum expectation from any consultant who is working on asset accounting. Now these calculations we've done. We've done these calculations. Any question on this calculation?
Sir,
This
this
is,
calculation can be done through micro, or we can do
yeah, you can
this
do
has to
anyways. You
be
can run a macro. No need of any macro. You will receive the data. You will
okay.
receive the data in an Excel sheet. So here what you
Okay.
will do, you will put days here. You will put number of days in current year. You will put the cutover date. You will just put a formula from this date to this date. This date, current date minus this date, you will get number of days. That number of days multiplied by this per day depreciation, 32.88. In one go you will get it. I'm not doing it because that will create confusion, so that will be a shortcut which I'm not showing now. Once you understand the logic, you can do whatever the way you are comfortable with it.
Okay.
Okay, now this calculation is what we did. Now let us try to do the same asset upload process in SAP. Now this is your current year acquisition process. This is the current year acquisition process. What I'll do, I'm not doing any other changes. Whatever I did so far is only the basic asset accounting configuration. We did a testing which is part of your UT UAT in any project. Till yesterday whatever we did, we were able to create the asset master, we are able to post the asset purchase, transfer, retirement, sale, scrapping and then depreciation. All these activities are performed in the development quality system as part of unit testing or user acceptance testing. Assuming that all this portion is working fine, as expected, there were no issues, no complaints from the client. Next thing is to work on the cutover data or work on the legacy data upload. When you are doing it, assuming that what additional activities we need to do as part of cutover for asset migration. Straight away I will try to do it. Let's see what is going to happen. First point, I'll put legacy upload process for current year asset, current year acquisitions. I'll put first point, create asset master. Now we know we will have to create the asset master in AS01. Okay, what I'll do, I'll go to AS01 only. Let us do the things as if we do not know the exact procedure how it is to be done. Let us try to proceed directly and we'll try to understand what issues, errors we are getting and where we are going wrong and how we are actually supposed to do it. I'll go to AS01, press enter. When I click on AS01, it is asking to select asset class, open the drop down. And our asset class is this one, 9PBI, computer and accessories, press enter. I will put asset legacy current year 01, just to easily identify that what is the scenario we are executing. I am giving this asset legacy current year 01. Description is representing this is current year acquired asset number 1 or scenario number 1. Scroll down. If you see any other information you need to fill, no other information is there. I'll go to time dependent data. Cost center is mandatory. Pick any one cost center. After that, depreciation areas. Give this information, depreciation start date. Now you purchased the asset on what date? 10th June 2023. I'll put 10/06/2023. Here also I'll put same. Enter. But one point what we need to make sure here is this depreciation is what? 15%. Correct? This is 15%. Now the configuration whatever we did, I don't think it is for 15%.
It's for 10%.
This is 10%. So what I'll do, I'll go to, if I want to change the depreciation percentage, all the depreciation percentages are maintained at multi-level method. To open multi-level method, go to AFA. All the asset transactions majoritarily begin from AFA. Depreciation key related content will begin with AFAM. Multi means you assume that this is several, put S here. AFAMS is used for multi-level method. Press enter. Chart of depreciation, your, what is it? BMW India 9PBI. Select the chart of depreciation and I will select our multi-level method. This is 10% straight line method. I am changing this to 15%. Okay, save this. Next one, I'll go inside this, I'll go to level. This percentage here I am updating from 10 to 15. From here system is going to do the calculation. I am changing the percentage here because if I create another key we will be deviated from the topic. That is why simply I am changing the depreciation rate here. Come back. Otherwise we will have to rework on the calculation or we have to redo the configuration for the new key, which I am not doing. Since we already understood that calculation, I am going ahead with the same calculation. Now 15% is updated. If I come back to the asset master, if I open the drop down this, it is still showing 10% because this is the description of depreciation key, not multi-level method. Depreciation key description also I will change or I'll proceed as it is. Click on save. continue. Now asset master is created. Asset master is 1 all zeros 2. If I go to display the asset, this is the asset number. Copy the asset number. This is the asset number that is created. After this, next one is to post acquisition value. Assuming that this post acquisition value is performed from ABLDT. This is performed from ABLDT. What I'll do here is I'll go to another screen called ABLDT. If I go to ABLDT, it is asking us to create general header data for posting, company code, asset number, whatever we created we have given, asset number, enter. Once you put this, it is asking us to fill up the data in this format. It is asking us to put acquisition value, INR dollar. You have to manually put both the numbers. For example, I'll put INR value of the purchase is 80,000 here. Copy this 80,000. I'll put acquisition value 80,000 here. Here also 80,000 and 80,000 equivalent to dollar. Let's say I'll go to EWCT, INR to dollar. If I put as on 31/12/2020 or it's okay. I'll put 80,000. This is a manual input, $1,000. Assuming I'll put equivalent to dollar is 1,000 here. Here also I'll put equivalent to dollar is 1,000. Enter. Acquisition value is 1,000. After that you have accumulated ordinary depreciation and you will have something called ordinary depreciation posted. Bring this here. These two columns.
Sir, line 4 is should be 1,000. You added 10,000 there.
Sorry. Right. Two columns we need to consider is ordinary depreciation posted, accumulated depreciation posted. Now here let's say that I do not know what is ordinary depreciation posted, what is accumulated depreciation posted. Let's assume that ordinary depreciation is related to current year, accumulated depreciation is related to last year. Let's assume that accumulation is till last year, ordinary depreciation is for the current year. Now our asset is purchased in current year. In current year, whatever the depreciation posted. Now until when you need to take? You need to take depreciation until your trial balance or until your cutover date. Cutover or trial balance is November. Till November, posted depreciation is 5720.55. Copy this and put this here. Put this here and 5720.55 equivalent to dollar you have to take. 5720.50. This is 71.51. I'll put 71.51 here. Now the depreciation for this second area will be different because this is based on the one accounting principle. This is based on the other accounting principle. Currently, I'm not focusing on the other accounting principle, or simply what I'll do for the other accounting principle, this is life based on 5 years. According to life based on 5 years, it will be is equal to 80,000 divided by 5 years. And if I take this daily, this divided by 365, and number of days that you have here is 174. So if I take 174 multiplied by this 7627. If I deduct 80,000 minus this figure, I am getting 73. Okay, if I take these two into 2-digit, now this will be the depreciation posted 762740, 7627.40, and equivalent dollar for this will be 0.40, $93.54. I'll put $93.54.
Sir, it's 95.34. 95.34.
95.34. Yeah. 95.34. Now what I'll do, I'm going to copy paste this numbers so that if this is not working out as expected, we need to re-enter the figure. For that purpose, I'm just copy pasting this number here. This is your acquisition number and this is your depreciation number. Okay, this number we have put. Now after giving this, I'll just press enter. Since this is current year acquisition asset, we are not entering anything in accumulated ordinary depreciation, as we are assuming this is related to last year depreciation. After entering all this information, click on this option called simulate. When you click on simulate, let's see what is going to happen. It is giving an information. Posting with transaction type 970 not possible as an acquisition was not yet posted. System is telling transaction type 970 is not possible because acquisition is not yet posted. Let us open this error message. It is telling transaction type 970 belongs to a transaction type group which can only be used to post asset that have already been posted to. However, no postings have been made to this asset. No postings have been made to this asset, which means system is telling you can upload this, you can post this entry for an asset which is already having acquisition value. Now how you will tell that the asset is already having acquisition value? How system is coming to know that this asset is not having any posting? Based on the master data. System is coming to know based on the master data. If I go to master data here, I'll go to asset master. Let me go to AS02. I'll go to change mode. This is the asset that we created. If I press enter, asset is currently being processed. Let me go to display mode. If I display this asset, if you look at the asset general data, if you scroll down, there is something called capitalized on, there is something called acquired on. This date must be filled up in order to upload the any legacy data in SAP. This is mandatory in order to upload any legacy data in SAP. Currently, this asset master does not have any of this information. When there is no information of this, you cannot do the legacy data upload process. Since this data is missing in the asset master, system is telling you cannot do the legacy upload process. Reason is correct, there is no acquisition date. According to system, this asset is not yet purchased. Now we know that this is already purchased but not in SAP, out of SAP in your legacy system. That date you have to update at the time of asset master creation. The date you need to update at the time of asset master creation, which means whenever you are creating the asset master, if you are creating the asset master before go live or after go live. Before go live, you are going to represent the legacy asset. Before go live, you are going to represent legacy asset. For legacy asset, not AS01, it is AS91. For normal asset which is purchased after SAP go live, you are going to use AS01, but any asset that you are purchased before go live, it is AS91, which is the legacy asset creation. Okay, so this one, current year 01, is not the right way to create the asset. What I'll do, I'll come back. We understood this is not the right way of creating the asset master. That is the reason this is not used. Come back. Error is clear. Our master data is not created properly. Come out of this. Now let me open AS91. If you go to AS91, the screen itself is telling create legacy data initial screen. Give asset class, company code, press enter. Same way, give the description. I am giving 2 here. I am giving 2 because 1 whatever we have given is not correct. In this, if you see, capitalization date is mandatory. In this, capitalization date is mandatory. You need to manually feed the capitalization date here. The date on which asset is actually purchased. This date will be provided to you by the client in the Excel sheet. It is your 10th June 2023. Enter. This is your 10th June 2023. Scroll down to see the date. It is correct. According to this, it is automatically updating acquisition date, acquisition year, acquisition period. 2023 fiscal year, 6th period as it is acquired according to capitalization date. And then go to time dependent data. This is as usual. Put this depreciation areas. Depreciation start date is automatically updated as here. Expired useful life, if years are having any impact, updated here. Currently this is the only current year. Expired useful life is 0. Once you change year from 2023 to 2024, it will update how many years, how many months are expired for the asset life. Currently you are in the current year, it is not showing anything. Just press enter, proceed to save. Now asset master is created. Now asset master number is 3. Let me click on display. Master number is 3. Now I'll update this point here. 3 I'll take. Next one, create asset legacy master using AS91. Not A01, AS91. If you use A01, it will not work. That is why this is wrong. I'll put this red mark. This is not correct. This is the right approach. AS91. After that, let's do it ABLDT once again. Let me go to ABLDT. Now, if I show you the asset master, the one that we created, if you display the asset, if you scroll down, you will be able to see asset acquisition date, asset capitalization date, asset acquisition date. This date is mandatory in the master data before you load legacy values to it. If this date is missing, legacy value will not be updated. After this, let's go to ABLDT again. /n, I'll put ABLDT. Same thing, company code, asset number, press enter. And you put acquisition value. What I'll do here is, I already copy pasted the figures. I'm going to copy this figure. I'll put this here. Pasted here. Similarly, I'll copy this number here, depreciation. And this depreciation, you have to keep it in ordinary depreciation posted. In this column, I'll place this number. Just press enter. After this, let's go to simulate. I'll click on simulate option. If I click on simulate option, it is giving another message, offsetting account for legacy data transfer for company code. This is not maintained. If you open this, there is another error message, offsetting account for legacy data transfer. Copy this. Now come down. This error is what you've got. Now for this, let's go to asset accounting config. ORFA, go to integration with general ledger accounting. We need to find where is that setting. We need to find where is that setting where you have to update the GL account. Let's go to assignment of GL account. If you go inside, we have already assigned the GL accounts, but nowhere we found a GL account related to what is this called, offsetting account for legacy data transfer. I'll copy this. I'll open account determination. If I select any one, 9PBI balance sheet account, for this, it is not part of this. You will not find anywhere legacy data transfer or offsetting account, because this account determination is for asset normal posting. What we are doing is not the asset normal posting, it is legacy data upload. For this, system is expecting offsetting account, in short, takeover account. Let me come back. Now we need to understand where this GL account is updated. Let me go to technical clearing account. In the technical clearing account, it is only technical clearing account for integrated asset acquisition. There is nothing called legacy data here. I'll close this and I'll close this integration. I'm not able to find. If you scroll down, there is something called asset data transfer. Open this. If I open this asset data transfer, there is something called parameters for data transfer. If you go to parameter for data transfer, first one is define transfer date and additional parameter. If you open this first setting, this is taking us to FAA underscore CMP underscore LDT legacy data transfer. Here for our company code, we already updated legacy transfer date. This information is already given, which is fine. Come back. Now this also we will put FAA underscore CMP underscore LDT legacy data transfer date. This is FAA underscore CMP underscore LDT. This setting we have already updated. I'll come out of this screen. Next one, this setting, specify offsetting account for legacy data transfer. Offsetting account for legacy data transfer. This is here, and here is your setting. Open this setting. If you open this setting, it is asking chart of account and it is asking us to input the GL account. Add a new entry, or the chart of account is already here, 9 BMW. Here we need to create a GL account. So what GL account we will take is, let me create a new GL account. FS00. We have takeover account. In this takeover account, one is your TB takeover. For the asset, you can create another GL account. Let me copy this, ending with 1. I'll put fixed asset takeover account. G001. I'm using fixed asset takeover account, and this fixed asset takeover account I am going to update here. I'll put this GL account here, enter. Let me save this setting, continue. Come back. Now the takeover GL account is updated. For this, if I open, you're not able to see any T code here. And if I open the additional information, display key, IMG activity, and you are not able to see any T code here. So I'm not writing any T code here because there is no T code. So what I'll do, I'll simply put this path here. To get the path, do a right click on it and click on show path. I'll copy this path and I'll put this path here. Now this is also updated. GL account is updated, takeover date both are updated. Let's go to the same screen again. I'll press enter once again. Now let me try to do the simulation part. If I try to do the simulation part, it is giving another message. Company code, asset number, accumulated values for activation date not allowed in the transfer year. It is telling value date is earlier than capitalization date, posting not possible. Value date is earlier than acquisition date, posting not possible. Let's open this message to understand. It is telling fixed asset was capitalized on 10/6/2023. However, you cannot post to an asset that was not yet capitalized. Change the asset value date, capitalize asset by posting an acquisition. It is telling this ABLDT you cannot do it. It is telling ABLDT you cannot use for this asset. Now why system is giving this message, we need to understand. Point number one, you have two scenarios in the asset legacy migration. First one is your current year acquisition, second one is your prior year acquisition. Now the scenario that we are executing now is current year acquisition. System is considering what is your acquisition date and what is your takeover date. What is the acquisition date, what is takeover date? It is verifying your acquisition date with your takeover date. Takeover date is what? Where did I mention this? Okay, here I'll put 30/11/2023. This is our takeover date because trial balance date. Now when you execute ABLDT, it is not accepting this here. When you execute ABLDT, it is not accepting here. I'll put a red mark here. It is not accepting. Now third one, I'll put another thing. Same thing. Post asset acquisition. Now I'll put AB01 here. I'll put AB01. What I'll do here in AB01, I'll come out of this screen also now because it is not working. Come out AB01. In AB01, it is asking company code, asset, transaction type, open the drop down. We need to understand what is the transaction that we have to update here. We need to understand what is the transaction type that we'll have to take. Let's say I am going to take 100 only. Let's say I'm going to take 100 only, or let's come down to see which transaction type to be used here. If I go to 9 series, you have something called a takeover open item, and if I come down furthermore, I don't find anything specifically related to it. So what I'll do, I'll simply take external asset acquisition. I'll press enter. I know that acquisition value is 100 only. That is what we did during our transaction. Same thing I am doing it here. I'll put accounting principle. I'm not putting any accounting principle. What I'll give here is accounting principle. I'm leaving it blank. Document date, posting date, I'll take cutover date, which means 30/11/2023. 30/11/2023. Everything is 30/11/2023. Amount posted is 80,000. Okay, I'll put current year acquisition upload. Current year acquisition upload. It is asking offsetting account. I'm not giving anything. Additional details. It's okay. Let me press enter. Let me see what is going to happen here. Simulate. When I click on simulate, system is giving the document like this, wherein it is giving you fixed asset takeover account automatically coming into picture. Fixed asset takeover is automatically coming into picture, but there is some errors issued. Let's look at the error messages. It It is telling document. This is because of UE document type for representative ledger BR. We know what to do for it. Let me go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG, financial accounting. I'll go to global settings, document type in a ledger. Our ledger is 9B, not 9B, BR. In this, the takeover document type, which is UE, I'll put this here. Click on save. The error is because that UE document type is not allowed in this ledger. That is why the error was coming. We've updated it here now. Come out of this screen. Let's go to the same screen once again. Come back. Press enter. Let me do the simulation once again. When you do the simulation again, you're not getting any other error messages. It's only a warning message. 80,000 is being posted to the asset account. 80,000 is posted to the asset accounting according to IFRS. If I change accounting principle from IFRS to representative ledger, which means the other accounting principle, here also it is 80,000. Here also it is 80,000 because asset cannot have two different acquisition values in the two different accounting principle. Now in leading ledger, in non-leading ledger, in short, according to IFRS and according to Indian accounting standard or your US GAAP, whatever the accounting standard which you are using, based on the company code, it is the same value. Accounting entry will be your asset account debit. Credit is going to fixed asset takeover account. Here, if you notice, it is not bringing asset technical clearing account because this is not the acquisition entry. Asset technical clearing account is not coming because this is not the acquisition entry. This is the entry which is related to legacy balance upload. I'll put this entry. There are no errors. It's only a warning message. I'll proceed to post this. I posted this entry. When I post this entry, system had created two accounting documents. One document representing IFRS accounting principle, other document representing your Indian accounting standard accounting principle. Close this. After doing this, what I'll do is, let me verify the asset master data again. I'll come back. 1003 is the asset. Let me enter this asset number again. This is the asset number. Depreciation area. This is the correct. Now let us verify the value. Enter. If I verify the value, system is showing me the numbers. If I verify the value, system is showing the number. It is telling current year depreciation is 6739.73. It is automatically calculating depreciation as 6739.73. First point, let us verify this. Now this is coming from leading ledger IFRS. For leading ledger IFRS, we are using 15% WDV method. For the first year, it is the same percentage. From second year, the depreciation figures will change. So what I'll do, the total year depreciation will be, let's say, FY 2023. Fiscal year 2023 depreciation will be this plus this, which is your 6739.73. We need to verify if this is the right figure from the asset or not. 6739.73, when you create the asset, system is giving you the same depreciation 6739.73. If you go to posted values, it is giving you the planned depreciation for period number 11 is 5720.55. This is related to your legacy depreciation. 5720.55 must be part of your legacy until November. The same number you are able to get it here. and 1019.18 is related to December, 1019.18 is related to December. Now what we will be doing here is, as a FICO consultant, from your user ID, you are going to execute a depreciation for the month of November, because for the current year depreciation you are not going to upload manual entry. It is system driven depreciation. For any current year acquisition or for the current year depreciation, system is going to post as part of depreciation run by the FICO consultant. As a consultant, for the legacy cutover month, which means for November, you have to execute AFAB. When you execute AFAB, system will post this November month depreciation. Only then your trial balance will match, otherwise it will not match. Tomorrow when somebody is asking you how do you load the current year depreciation, don't tell you will post manual entry. You will never do it. You will execute a depreciation. This is the same process even in ECC. Even in ECC it is the same procedure. You will run the depreciation for the trial balance month, then system will post this depreciation. Okay, this number you need to make sure it is tallying. After that, for the non-leading, it should be 7627.40 based on our rough calculation. If I verify this, what you are getting here is 8936.80. This is because we've considered until October only, until November. So what I'll do here is, somewhere I calculated this. This 174. Now I'll also calculate for 31 days, December. This multiplied by 31, and if I sum this and this, it should be 8986.30. If I come here, 8986.30, number should be exactly the same. Number should be exactly the same. If you get the logic, whether you load one asset, you load 10,000 asset, it is going to work in the similar way. As simple as like you copy paste data, but make sure you get the logic clearly. Now this is how you are going to upload legacy balances for current year acquisition. If you put these steps in the sequential order, so what we did here is, first point, let me realign the numbers. This will be the first step. This will be the first step. And second step will be this. This will be the second step. I'll put format painter here. And third step will be create asset master AS01. I'm removing it now because this is not used for legacy. Create legacy asset master AS91. Post acquisition value, I'm removing it because this is not used for current year. This is used only for the prior year acquisitions. I am removing it from here. Next one, post asset acquisition or acquisition value AB01. I'll put this here. These things I'll remove it. And next one, post depreciation for cutover month, in our example November 2023, using AFAB. But before that, this I'll put last step, step number 5. Step number 4, verify asset values AW01N. These are the steps that you'll have to explain in case if somebody is asking you in your interview, or in case if you're working in the project. These 5 steps you'll have to follow. Step number 1, step number 2 is a one-time activity, either for the current year or for the prior year. Either for the current year or for the prior year, this is a one-time activity. and this is the repetitive activity for every asset. This is the repetitive activity for the every asset. Now in real time, you will be having more than one asset. Point number one, you will be creating a BDC for this. Point number two, you have a Fiori tile. You have a Fiori tile. Through Fiori tile also you can upload asset legacy data, wherein you are going to create the asset and upload the asset parallelly using Fiori data. I'll show that Fiori data in the next session. If that app is available or not, I'll check. If app is available, we will see it, how the data is uploaded through Fiori, if the app is activated thoroughly, properly. Clear? This is
Then
the
the numbering,
process
sir.
related. Sorry?
Numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 6.
1, 2, yeah.
So we can also use Bapi body.
Yes, you can also use it. But normally we will prefer Fiori tile only, because that is SAP provided application, like the way you used opening balance upload for GL customer vendor we did, if you remember, in the initial stages, in the initial sessions. Trial balance upload through migrate your data. Similarly, you will have a tile for migrating the asset values. You will download that tile, that template, you will update the data, you will upload it. Asset master, and then the data upload will happen parallelly. Okay, that I'll show in the next sessions. How do we load the data through Fiori application? On this process, any question you can ask now. First of all, remember the procedure that we followed, steps that we followed, and the calculations that we did. You have to be very conscious about the calculations, logic example that we took. Try to take another example similar to this. Just replace the date, replace the number, value, everything, percentage. Accordingly, you do your one configuration for the depreciation area, upload the values. Now in one numbers are matching with the system. If not, it is still fine. That will make you understand where things are going wrong, whether your config is wrong, your understanding is wrong. Sometimes you are correct, system is also correct, but your Excel calculation may be wrong because you do not have proper Excel skill set. That also will give you a trouble, because in the Excel numbers are calculated incorrectly. Yeah, Rajendra.
Good evening, sir. Actually, sir, capitalization date and acquisition date may be same, no?
In the
In
legacy
some
case,
case,
it is the same. It is the same.
no. But in real time, in the sense, in SAP, if we want to procure the asset, that time also, for example, if we procure the laptop, okay, so that time acquisition date and capitalization date may be same, correct?
Correct. Now, capitalization date is the date on which you are starting to use the asset.
Right.
Okay. Acquisition date is the date when you purchased the asset. In short, the bill of the invoice should be the acquisition date. Whenever you purchase, you will
Right.
receive the bill, right, from the supplier. That date will be your acquisition date. The date from when you are actually going to start using the asset, that will be the capitalization date. It may be different in some cases.
Yes, and sir, ordinary depreciation start date always capitalization date, or it may be differ.
It depends on your depreciation base method. Somewhere you will put depreciation start date. Either you want to calculate from the capitalization date or from the ordinary depreciation start date. You remember in the config somewhere you will give that date.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
AFAMB. You got my point, right? You will update that
Right.
somewhere.
Multi-level
So it
method.
depends
Okay.
on that.
And sir, in ECC there is one T code AO90 that is for account assignment, and
Here
here
also
is
it
a
is the
different
same.
same.
That is the same.
But sir, you that you use that one V underscore, that is table view. So I just confused there.
Where?
That offline what
Offsetting account.
offsetting account, yeah.
This is not there in ECC. That is there only in S4.
Okay.
In ECC, it's a manual process.
Oh,
This
okay.
is there only in S4.
And sir, what is exactly that the legacy data transfer date? That is means our last date of cutover month. That is
Cutover
the
date.
last
Cutover date. Correct.
cutover date. Okay.
Yeah.
There is also
Here,
catch
if
over
you
date also.
see, yeah, catch over date I'm not writing now. Catch over date I'll explain when I'm talking about this computer number 4.
Okay.
Okay, for this I'll explain the catch over, that process for the 4th scenario.
So same process can be used in a real time, right?
Yeah, that 4th scenario is different because that is after
Okay.
go live. That is in go live month, not before.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, okay, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Yeah. Tunde?
Hey Ajay, thanks to, for the question. I have some doubts, but is it possible for me to share my screen? I want to show you what I'm
No,
saying.
after this I'll take your screen. But on this process, if you have any question, you can ask now, so that will
Okay,
not be deviated.
okay, sir. Thank you. I just it's hard for me to move forward, so I'll just wait and everybody ask the question.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Gandhi?
Bro, if we have 10 or 15 assets, so we will do it through BDC or it will be from LSMW to upload the legacy data.
Either way is possible. You can either create LSMW for it, or you can use BDC, or you can use, if there is any standard BAPI for it, you can use the BAPI, or standard SAP provided that the Fiori tile is there, migrate asset balances. If you go to Fiori in the migrate your data, you will find a uh, object for the asset migration, asset data upload.
Okay, it will upload whatever the client is provided by like 10 or
Yeah.
15 assets that will be in
That
single
is what we
instance.
normally in single instance, correct. This process, what we did now is manual process to understand the logic.
Okay.
Okay, once you understand
And
how numbers are to be calculated, we normally use the mass upload only through Excel uploads only, either
okay,
BDC,
okay,
BAPI, or the Fiori app. Migrate your data.
okay, okay. And one more question. If the asset is we are calculating from SLM method from starting it, if there is any possibility of changing the SLM to WDV method, like
In between,
after the partial year, yeah, in between.
yeah, you can change it. In that case, you'll have to do the configuration changes in the multi-level method.
So that will not impact any balance sheet level, or it will not impact the calculation part at the year-end activities.
No, if you go to multi-level method, here what normally happens, for example, I'll take any one, let's say 10% level. If I take this, now currently it is there for double line, correct? Huh?
Yes, yes.
Now I'll try to delete this. Now I'll put new entries. Let's say this I'll put 2. I'll put same thing again. This I'll put 1. I'll put same thing again. I'll put 3. Let's say I'll put same baseline method. Here I'll put 10%. Here I'll put 15%. Here I'll put 20%. What system will do? Whatever the asset that you are purchasing, that you are using from a specific asset class. First 2 years it will depreciate at 10%. Third year it will depreciate 15%. From fourth year onwards, 4, 5, 6 years, it will depreciate 20%.
Okay,
So here you are going to maintain that. Accordingly, system will understand from your purchase year, it will start counting year 1, 2, 3, 4. Accordingly,
okay,
it will apply the respective percentage.
okay. Okay, Ajay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Nageshwar Rao.
Uh, Sir, I have two questions here. Sir, when we do the AB01, the asset value date that we have given November 30 instead of the acquisition of the asset date, sir. I mean, actually, it should have been
Yeah,
from
you
10
can
years.
put asset acquisition date also there.
Okay.
Normally why we give that is, whenever you give that, system is considering till that date to calculate the depreciation. The purchase
Okay.
date is something that you're updating at the capitalization acquisition date. Wherever you are giving value date, it is representing the depreciation till when. You are
Okay.
calculating a depreciation until 30th November, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So your value date is supposed to represent 30th November
Okay.
because
Sir, one
purchase is already is already updated at the capitalization acquisition columns.
correct, sir. Correct.
Yeah.
Sir, one more question. When we use ABLDT, there also we can give the after acquisition in AB01. We can give the ordinary depreciation in ABLDT also, no, sir. That is also possible case, sir.
That is all. No, that we use only for the prior year. Current year, this is how you do it.
In one of my client, they did like they have used the AB01 for posting acquisition value for the current year, and they use the ABLDT for posting ordinary depreciation for the current year.
Depreciation, you can do that way also. Yes, both are
Because
possible. If you are using AB01 here, then
uh,
ABLDT you have to execute only for the depreciation portion.
correct, sir. Current year ordinary depreciation.
Current year ordinary depreciation. Or
Yes.
if you are using that way, what you'll have to do, if you have 1000 assets, you need to do it 1000 times.
Correct, sir. Manually we have to do it.
Or you need to, whatever the upload that you have, for every asset you need to calculate, manually put the value there.
Every time, I mean, 1,000 is not possible, sir. Actually, I mean,
No. I mean to say, if you have 1000 asset, for 1000 assets, you need to manually plot the number there, right? What is the depreciation for
correct.
asset 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yes, sir.
But instead, if you run the depreciation, system will automatically pass the entry.
Okay,
For
FAB.
cutover month, for cutover month, we will run the depreciation.
Okay.
AFAB is executed by the consultant for the cutover month, which means November month.
Correct, sir. Correct.
So when you do it, your accounting entry will not impact your takeover account. Accounting entry will take your depreciation debit, accumulated depreciation credit.
Correct, sir.
Clear?
Okay, I got
I'll
understood.
show that approach also in the next session.
Okay,
When
sir.
we use
Yeah.
ABLDT, we have another asset here.
Okay.
We have another current year asset, right? For the other current year asset, I'll show the other way around.
Okay, sir. Because I've seen such cases, that's why I just asking.
Mm-hmm. No, there will be there will be multiple ways how you load the asset.
Ah,
Okay, whatever the way you're adopting, make sure you're clear with it.
okay, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, understood, sir. Thank you, sir.
Danish,
Sir, I missed previous classes, so from where I can get the previous recording?
those are already shared in the group. I'll forward again.
Okay,
Or you
please.
can put a message in the group. Anybody will be able to give you that.
Sir, I got it, but let me check it. Either
Yeah.
when this classes started, sir, means the
Go ahead and
assets.
This
ping me. I'll send it to
you
you.
will get it in the group only, that one. You just put a message in the group, you'll get the links.
Okay.
Ping me,
Okay.
buddy. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sandeep.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, my question is, as you said that in data migration, I mean in legacy data transfer, acquisition date and uh, one more date you said, the both would be the same in this
Capitalization date.
case. Yeah, but sir, acquisition date in the sense, what would be acquisition? In the sense,
Date of purchase.
but the date of purchase, this is past year asset, right?
Prior year acquisition, you mean to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your question there?
No, sir, I forgot. Actually, I missed something. Sir,
See, the
anyways,
date is
one more doubt I
actually
have.
coming from here.
Okay.
Now here, whatever the date is
Hmm.
there, the same date will go
Hmm.
to the capital acquisition date.
Sir, acquisition in the sense whenever we purchase the asset, it's not like whenever we are loading the data to SAP, right?
No. When you purchase it, if you see here, The first one is 2021. When I do this in the tomorrow's session, I'll be putting the 2021 date only there. Because when you load the asset into SAP, it should be the continuation. It should not start from the fresh again in SAP, right?
Okay.
So for that continuation to happen, system requires the capitalization acquisition date manually. That is why when you don't put that date, if you create the just like that asset in AS01, it is not treating that asset in your upload, correct?
Yes.
It was giving error because you're not trying to do the
Yes.
capital, you're not trying to post the normal acquisition. Clear?
Hel- Yes, sir. Sir, I have one more doubt. Sir, what is the data migration? How different it is from ECC? In ECC, how it used to be, and in
In
S4HANA, how it
ECC,
is
it is
different?
manual. When I say in ECC, it is manual. You will put the asset legacy values in AS91. Here, AS91, you're only creating the asset master data capitalization date, correct?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes.
In ECC, along with this, the asset value you will put, asset acquisition value, accumulated depreciation, you will manually put in ECC. That will directly reflect in the AW01. And after that, whatever the value
Okay.
you put in ECC manually in AS91, you need to pass a manual entry through JV upload. Asset account debit, the takeover account credit, accumulated depreciation credit, takeover account debit. Manually, you need to pass that entry by disabling that reconciliation control. OAMK is where
Yeah.
you will remove the,
OAMK.
uh,
OAMK.
you have to remove it and then upload the entry. After that, put that back again. After we
Okay.
complete this
Even
S4 HANA, I'll put those steps and then I'll explain the difference between your ECC upload of legacy plus S4 HANA upload of legacy.
Sir,
okay.
sir, if you cover the delta changes between ECC and S4HANA, that will be better only for asset accounting.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Sir,
you're
one
right,
more
Sandeep.
doubt I have.
Yeah.
It is not regarding to data migration, but related to asset accounting only.
Okay.
Sir, while posting APC value, let's suppose for depreciation 1, it is different. Depreciation area 2, it is different. At the time of posting only, can we post it separately? In the sense, I will post only say a single document, but system has to pass it in two different values. That won't happen, right?
Acquisition value, you mean to say?
Yes, yes, sir.
No. If you put that way, you are
Oh,
duplicating vendor account directly, right?
oh,
If you
yes,
post
yes,
if you
yes, sir.
post
Correct.
separately, vendor account will be duplicated. So that is not the expectation, right? So that way we will not do it. That is why only for the
Okay,
acquisition you have this technical clearing account. Nowhere else it will come into picture because that is where your vendor account is affected. If you just to make sure your vendor is not duplicated, you are bringing that technical clearing account. That is the whole objective of it.
okay. Yeah, but any
Otherwise, we
kind of
can straight
adjustment, we
away.
will have to do it manually.
Correct. After posting the acquisition, you
Okay,
can do it. You can handle it separately with respect to the ledger specific.
okay, okay, sir. Okay, thanks. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. Gaurav,
Yeah, sir. Sir, there are two quick questions. The question one is like, as you mentioned, sir, the capitalization date is related to the ordinary depreciation start date. Uh, Somewhere some configuration settings you are showing. So, is it like I have to
if you
have
go
that,
to
or
somewhere
I think in the base method?
multi-level, not in base method, somewhere in multi-level method, not maximum. Where is multi-level? Here is. I'm only locking this. So here you have the date. Whether you want system to take validity from capitalization date or ordinary depreciation start date. If you put
Okay.
capitalization date, your depreciation start date will be taken from the capitalization date.
Okay.
Normally, that date we don't recommend it to change. You're not supposed to play with the capitalization date. That is why we always prefer this one, ordinary depreciation start date, which you can change at the time of asset master creation.
Okay. To get that manual control.
So that this date is strictly not recommended to change it. Even in the real system, we will gray out this.
Okay.
And any depreciation, you are going to do a workaround with ordinary depreciation start date.
So, sir, after posting depreciation for, let's say, for any period, can we again change the start date?
Yeah, you can change it. When you change it, from that date, it will recalculate the depreciation, and the month that you are posting the next depreciation, the adjustment will take place. Like there will be
Okay.
change in the calculated figure, right? If you change any parameter, date
Right.
or percentage whatsoever, according to that, it will recalculate the depreciation based on the previously posted depreciation, and according to the current new parameter, whatever the difference it is there, that will be accounted in the immediate month where you are posting the depreciation.
Okay, it's a catch-up value.
Correct.
And sir, this useful life we have to give in legacy asset for each depreciation area.
If the depreciation is based on percentage, useful life has got no role to play. That's why we are giving 99 years there, because system is
So
not
if
going to consider this. It is going to consider the percentage. If your
but
depreciation is based on the life, you have to strictly give the exact life. Here
but
life
even
has an impact. In this case, life has no impact.
but even though the life has no impact, but still we have to give, right, sir?
Still you have to give. Yeah.
Okay, so in the Excel sheet, wherever we are uploading through the
You
legacy,
have
right?
to give 99 years. Correct.
Okay, and so the last question is like as you mentioned, whenever we are doing the current year acquisition upload, so for period November we have to run the depreciation manually. So
Correct.
that would be as a part of your red book entries, sir, a kind of before
That's
getting.
part of your cutover activity. Because if you don't
Okay,
do it, your TB will not match. Because in your trial balance, in the P&L
hmm,
values, you will have depreciation figure.
right.
That depreciation figure value will get posted through AFAB, or you have to post depreciation manually. Since there is no manual intervention for the depreciation in asset accounting, either you use ABLDT or you use AFAB.
But sir, if you post any transaction in AB01, system will automatically calculate the values, right? So again, ABLDT is not required in the current year asset acquisition scenario.
No, it will calculate, but it will not post. It will only post acquisition. Depreciation will be in the planned state. If you go to asset value,
Correct. It is in planned state, sir. But do we need ABLDT again for this current year acquisition?
if you put ABLDT, then this status will turn legacy data transfer.
Okay, that arrow mark will come green,
Arrow mark
green
will
arrow.
come if you do it through ABLDT. If you do it through AFAB, it will show as posted.
Okay, either way out.
Either way, all your client needs is the till November, the whatever value is there, it should tally with your TB.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah,
And sir, as you also said that individually each depreciation area we have a different calculation method. So in that case, let's say we have a 6 depreciation areas. So if client has a requirement of one with a useful life, one with a percentage, one with a sum of year digit calculation. So for each we have to do calculation and then we have to upload the data, right? For each
correct.
area.
Yeah, in that case, in the template itself, you are going to add additional columns. You will put two columns here representing Indian accounting standard 2 more columns representing the other one. Like this will be duplicated. This is one set.
Correct.
Likewise, second set, third set, based on the number of accounting principles that you have in the
No,
same row.
sir, even though I have two accounting principles, but the area, let's say client wants in a different way, which will not impact to the GL account. However, for the reporting purpose, we have to update before uploading the sheet into the SAP, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And so lastly, this sum of your digit calculation, if you can help us to understand, it would be great,
Yeah,
sir.
I'll show that once we are clear with this two logics, then I'll show that sum of digits, and there is one more method. I'll explain that.
Sure, sir, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Ishant.
Hi, good evening, sir. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, Ishant. Go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I'm a little means not completely understanding the how we are why we are means calculating the depreciation for November, because as cutover date is November, so we have already calculated in the system, the in the legacy system. So means we have to upload the numbers only for till November. So we in December we have to calculate, but why we are calculating for the November period again? I think.
This is because when you receive the cutover data, you are going to receive the trial balance. Agree?
Right, sir.
Your trial balance is of November. Is that
November,
clear?
yeah. Yes, sir.
In the trial balance of November, your TB will contain the depreciation, accumulated depreciation until November in the legacy system.
Right, sir.
For the assets, manual depreciation is not allowed in SAP.
Yes, sir.
When I say manual posting is not allowed, even if you do a manual posting, whenever you run the depreciation, system will verify the current year depreciation from the beginning of the year. So unless system will see that at your cutover period there is a posting indicator here, it will end up posting 8986 in December month. If you post 8986 in December, is it correct?
Yeah,
In December, if you post 8986, is it correct?
it is correct, sir.
Then your trial balance will not show this value, right? Then your TB will not be tallied.
Yeah, it
When
will
I
not.
load the trial balance, I will miss this 7627 in my TB. If it is missing, I will not confirm on your TB, right? I'll say depreciation figures are missing.
Right, sir.
So that is the reason you have to load this in November itself to make sure your trial balance tallies with your legacy system. Only after that
Okay.
you are going to account this year.
Okay. 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 Got it, sir.
Clear?
Got it. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Nageshwar Rao?
Sir, I can see there are email IDs there in the group. I mean, I didn't get the email ID, sir. What is it actually? I mean, I didn't.
That I'll explain after the recording.
Fine, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Fine. Gaurav?
Yeah, sir. Sir, once when you have created the asset with AS01, and when we are trying to upload through ABLDT, we are getting an error of this capitalization date. Sir, what happen if we, enable the capitalization date in AS01 and we manually update and
No, it will not
upload?
consider, because when
It
you
will still.
manually create AS01, it will not
Uh,
allow you to update that capitalization date. Those fields are disabled. They will
if
get
I enable,
automatically updated based on the first transaction.
if I enabled, sir.
No, it will not work. That is the reason you
Okay,
have two different screens, right? AS01, AS91. For legacy
agreed.
assets,
But in screen layout rules, sir, if I put as a mandatory capitalization date and update it.
no, it is default, it is coming, right? If you take AS01, I'm not changing any screen layout rule.
No, I am asking, sir, if I deliberately change it and I wanted to do it.
No, that is not the right way.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. If you see, we have not done any changes in the screen layout rule.
Agreed.
AS01 is not showing this field. If I go to AS91,
It is showing.
and here it is showing, which means we have not maintained any setting at screen layout. Screen layout rule is common at the asset class. Am I correct?
Correct.
Now both are created with the same asset class.
Right.
Then is this having any impact? No, right? It is not connected in that way. If you disable there,
Agreed.
it will get disabled here also, right?
Agreed. But based out
Yeah.
of based out of curiosity, sir, actually.
Yeah, I got your point, but there are certain points which we are not supposed to go out of the line. This is one of those points. We can
Okay.
tweak the system to change its standard behavior, but those are not recommended.
Okay. It might have some different
We
complications.
can achieve whatever you're saying. We can tweak the system, but that is not recommended.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Nagavina?
Hello, Ajay. My question is like if we are using the asset for the useful life for the 5 years, and after 5 years the value becomes zero, then how do we treat that on the balance sheet?
In the fifth year, system will take the asset value as the remaining value. Like when system is calculating this, if I show you the asset, so if I go to display, this is the asset. If I go to asset values here, here there is something called comparison.
Yeah.
If you go to comparison, and you can see the value here, the life is 5 years. It is showing from 23 till 28 only.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see the last year, which is 2028, every year depreciation is 16,000, correct?
Yeah.
But last year it is the residue value, like whatever the value left over in the asset, that will be considered in the last year, either excess or shortage or the same. So it will
Okay.
make sure that at the end of the fifth year, this will become zero. So it will be removed from the balance sheet automatically.
So there is no entry for that. That to
No,
okay.
the depreciation will take to the extent of 7,013, making zero. If you don't want to make the asset value zero, you have to use memo value. Normally in every company, though the asset life is expired, physically the asset is still usable.
Yeah.
Right. So in that case, if you are showing asset as physically available, your asset must represent some value, maybe $1 or ₹1, $10 or 10 rupees, that you will have to update as a memo value. When you put memo value in the last year, system will leave a value here, residue value, like whatever you configured as memo value, it will keep 1 year so that asset will show as active.
Okay.
If you are showing the asset is available, now I see that the asset is purchased in 2015. Now as per the law, the asset is having only 5-year life. Now you are still using the asset. Now I am able to see the asset physically. Whatever the asset physically available must have a record in the system with value. At least some ₹1 value should be there, but it should be an active asset. Active means value is not zero.
Okay. And one more question is like yesterday when I was doing, I got the one value was correct and another value was wrong because I did not check the depreciation per day. So it took me from the, if I don't check that one, it will take from the first of the month. Okay.
Huh.
And if I want to reverse that, how to reverse that and make it correct? Is there any way to do that?
No need. You just enable the depreciation to the day.
But after doing the acquisition, if I check that depreciation per day enable, but it is saying you cannot enable because you already performed the depreciation, it is saying.
Or you put another depreciation key. create another depreciation key.
Mm-hmm.
Without that setting, change the depreciation key.
Change the depreciation. Okay.
Yeah. Create a copy of the same depreciation key, whatever you have. Now, wherever you went wrong, that enabling and disabling of your depreciation to the day, put that parameters correctly and then change the depreciation key, then verify.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Fine then. Let me stop the recording.